Yo. Welcome back to the pod. The
Watchers Podcast. WATCHERZ.
Hard ER. I am Tiger Helly 19 on the Facebook, Snapchat. Not on the Facebook, Snapchat. So it's on the Snapchats and IG. On the Facebook, I am my government name, Jason Williams. And to my left,
Do that,
Okay, when I fall down.
Tavon, Tri-State _tip on Instagram. That's how you do it from now on. From now on.
to my right.
Smitty Green Giant on Instagram.
Smitty with 365 on Instagram.
And the boy down on the end.
Corey J.
Who is absent today.
All right, man.
All right, how's y'all week?
It's been a week. That's a nice colored drink. I'm gonna go colorblind, but you got a little good color coordinate combination going on in there.
Jason in his part time is a mixologist.
Do you see that, Brian? Let Brian get a good look at that. That's some mixology shit.
Ice cream paint job.
Got that drip on it.
Not only is he a teacher, he knows how to concoct a good drink with the gas bag, man.
Because when you teach, you need to know how to.
Oh yeah. Good luck with your teacher duties this year, and good luck to all the teachers as well.
Yes, underpaid.
Yeah.
Very underpaid.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to the teachers.
Yep.
So yeah, as far as the week, I mean, I think the past 2 weeks, if you've been a fan of wrestling, if you grew up in the 90s watching superhero cartoons and
Game shows.
I think you resonated with one or all of the losses we had. I don't know who to start with. I don't want to say anyone was more, influential than the other. But, yeah, usually we get threes, right, when it comes in deaths. But we got four in the past 2 weeks. So
It's been heavy.
Been past week. Ain't even been a week.
it's all in the one. Yeah. All in the 1 week. So
I'll go chronologically.
go ahead.
So Wednesday, we lost the late, great. Well, he wasn't late when he passed, but the great Hall of Famer, the one and only Terry Funk. Also, the very next day, current active WWE superstar and one of my all-time favorite wrestlers, Bray Wyatt, a.k.a.
Wyndham.
Real name, Wyndham Rotunda. And what was it, the following day? No, Friday. No, yesterday.
Maybe
Saturday.
Saturday.
So 2 days later after that.
Bob Barker.
Damn, I was going to
sorry.
have a whole I was going a whole lead in. If you ever been sick off a day of school and you didn't have nothing to do but sit in your bed and watch some game shows, The Price is Right original host, as Jules said, Bob Barker, at the age of 99, right?
That's a good,
That's
He lived the full life.
that's more.
I
than full
don't
life.
want to jinx myself. And maybe you get to a point where you're like, I'm ready to check out. But if you're healthy and you don't got no real
Underlying health issues.
yeah, something that's really debilitating you, you cannot complain about 99 years old.
Nah, he's seen everything.
Seen it all.
You lived through a lot of things during 99. You've seen a lot of different changes.
Mm-hmm. And the show just wasn't the same after Drew Carey took over. It just lost its luster.
Was it still coming on before the strike or no?
Yeah,
Well,
I think so.
I believe it is.
What's that?
Price is Right.
Price
Price is Right. I don't know, because I felt like sometimes they were running reruns. Just something told me that these weren't current episodes, so I don't know what the deal was.
The crazy part is I wouldn't know which ones are new or not.
Yeah, like it was just certain things I noticed. I was like, oh, I don't think that's new. Usually it'd be like, for me, it'd be if in the Showcase Showdown, if it was a new car, and I'd be like, oh man, that car from like 2 generations ago, this got to be like mid 2010, 15, something like that. So that's the only way I was able to tell. But,
How long? What's his name what's his name? You said Drew Carey. How long he been hosting?
Drew Carey been on there for long. I know
hot
it's longer
let
than
me
I thought
look
it
it
was.
up.
It's been a minute.
Because I think it's shorter, but I feel like it's longer. It might be like some 10 years or something he been hosting.
Probably 12 years, I think.
Jeez.
Don't quote me on it, though.
Took over hosting duties 2007.
Okay.
Oh,
wow.
Oh,
Wow.
nearly
So,
20 years.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Shice.
Oh, wow. It don't even seem like that, though,
Yeah.
man. Damn.
2007. He retired at 83, Bob Barker.
So he retired at a good age.
yeah.
Well, he wasn't really working, but I'd be goddamn if I'm still working at 83.
I ain't.
Yeah, he was doing what he enjoyed to do. So
I'm
that's,
pretty sure,
that's
yeah,
different.
yeah,
That's
love
different.
that.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
yeah.
when you're on TV like that,
Yeah,
like, it's
that's
only
totally
like work.
different.
He was a big animal guy, too, man.
Yeah. Remember, you always tell you, get your pet spayed and neutered.
He beat up Happy Gilmore.
He was funny on that one episode of Wrestling, though, when he got in Jericho's face.
Oh, yeah. And then last but not least, I do not know how to pronounce it. I don't know her name.
Arleen Sorkin. A lot of people won't be familiar with her, but if you watch the Batman animated series in the 90s, she was the voice of Harley Quinn.
She actually was the
She
reason
is the
why they created her character.
correct. She is the
Inspiration.
I don't want to say inspiration. However, Harley Quinn did not exist before that show. And so everything that you see Harley Quinn in now these days and comics with her in it and is all due to that character and her playing that character. There was a lot of
Controversy at one point when they
I wouldn't
first
even
did
say
it.
controversy. I would say the 90s Batman animated series, it can arguably be said as the number one comic adaptation of a Batman.
I agree.
Regardless of movie, TV show, cameo, whatever. You can argue Kevin Conroy's Batman, Mark Hamill's Joker, Arleen Sorkin's Harley Quinn may be the quintessential epitome, like the depictions of the characters from the comics.
Yeah, I don't
And
disagree.
I ain't arguing that one.
honestly, when I look at new adaptations, new movies, I always compare back to that. I don't even compare to the comics anymore. I compare it for what I remember as a kid watching Batman animated series, what I remember from Spider-Man, what I remember from Superman animated series, all those X-Men. That's what I compare the movies to.
I mean,
And so,
Is she related to the director, Andy Serkis?
no.
No.
Mm-mm. She was on Days of Our Lives. She was a soap opera actress, if I'm not mistaken.
so yeah, it crushed the role so hard. They legit just created that character into the universe.
Yeah, they weaved her in.
Master of the Phantasm was still my favorite Batman movie.
Really good. You can't say nothing
That's my
real
favorite.
bad about that movie at all.
And that series in general had some real deep episodes, though, man.
Oh, yeah.
The Heart of Ice is my favorite. The Clayface joint was good.
The Clayface one was my favorite episode, actually.
How they
The
transitioned
funniest episode was this damn one with Two-Face, and he was telling the henchman to do something, and the henchman was like, "But Two-Face," he looked at him, walked over, and went.
Yeah.
It was no
talked
words.
about
It was no words being said. All you heard was him walking over.
He had to check you.
I'm gonna try to find that episode, but that was the funniest damn one I remember.
Yeah, there was a lot of good episodes on there, though. God, what else?
Yeah, I can pick little moments that I remember. The bat episode,
Man Bat.
Man Bat.
Bad,
Yeah.
bad, yeah.
I remember those
Wasn't
episodes.
that like the second or third
I
episode?
think it was the second one.
Yeah, that's
That-
way
that-
back.
The ones with Clayface, I remember.
Those are my favorites, though, man. Like I said,
What's the Mad Hatter dude? Is his name Mad Hatter?
Jervis. Yeah.
He looked like the Mad Hatter from the That movie.
His boy, was it Kill Die?
Killed
Fought him. The Asian guy that knew who he was the whole time.
Oh yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
That one. Good Lord.
There's so many.
How they did Roz. They kind of like really redefined on how we really watched and how they did Batman in general.
Also, I remember them talking about it when DC was doing something. Maybe remember they used to do the DC Universe, DC whatever, once a year. It was supposed to be like their Comic-Con, but they stopped it.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking about the series and how they changed how they drew. Where most things you start with a light background, you draw the color on it.
Yeah.
This was mostly, they started like at a black background.
Yeah, no, they call it dark deco.
And drew the figures from the darkness. And that's why it has that noir dark look to it.
Mm-hmm.
And what I always thought about Batman anime series as a kid, the simplicity of the animation. Because remember, we're coming from a time where we were watching G.I. Joe, Transformers, Ninja Turtles, Thundercats, all that, He-Man. And the animation in that period was very detailed. Like, compared to now, it looks dated, but back then, if you look at the cartoons of that time, very detailed, very fine lines, very, intricate. As far as when they started at Batman, I was initially turned off to it as a kid. I was like, ew, why they draw it like this? Why does it look? Because it was so simple.
Like you know what was crazy?
The simplicity of the animation.
A lot of people said that too when it first came out.
It was like that hard, jagged lines. Nothing was curved. If you look at it now, it's not really curvy. Everything's really a hard, jagged. Like their faces are square.
Yeah,
everything's square. Like
except for Poison Ivy.
Yeah,
that woman was shaped. She was
curvy. She was curvaceous.
Hey, it was that bitch over Harley Quinn.
Oh yeah,
we started getting a little wild on there.
But it was very what I always call simplistic in the animation style, which I feel like they went back to nowadays with like the newer cartoons. If you look at them, they have more tech now, but they simplified the animation of a lot of like the kids' cartoons and stuff that's come out now, like almost like how Teen Titans Go.
It's probably
they
cheaper.
dumbed down the animation, but at that time, it was weird to me because I feel like that was the first one they did it with, and then the Superman series that came after used the similar
but they
animation style.
Yeah, but they went with the opposite. They went toward,
but it caught
a lot of light
on
scenes.
Like just the sharp, jagged, less detailed animation.
Yeah,
and for me personally, I felt that made the stories shine even more in the Batman animated series. Because sometimes you get caught up in how something looks, but the story's still trash. But it looks visually pleasing. But to me, that was like because I was like, I don't like how they drew this, but I was like, the stories were undeniable, the episodes were undeniable, so I ended up loving the series, even though I initially didn't like the animation. So that's always what stuck out to me about the series when it first came out.
Stuck out to me, it seemed like that show was more like it was like more mini movies. If you really look at some of the episodes, it was. Yeah, I would say they were literally like little mini movies. They got a lot of story in for about 22 minutes, man. And that's kind of unheard of for an anime series.
Yeah.
So, shout out to them for that, though, man.
Yeah. So sorry. I don't want to take all the time just on her as well, but we also, like you said, lost 2 wrestlers this week. Terry Funk, 70s, I believe.
79.
Yeah. I mean, 79, I wouldn't hate. I'd rather say 99, but but
he lived a very good life, and he kind of really brought in a harder edge for a common wrestling fan. So.
Yeah.
He was also unintentionally funny.
I remember him smacking
a horse.
I remember him smacking
Sylvester Stallone?
ECW Paul Heyman.
Oh.
He was like, keep my daughter's name out your mouth. And he got him. He swapped him twice because he ain't like the first time he slapped him because Paul Heyman moved his face a little bit so he didn't get all the face.
Yeah,
so he did it again.
He was a wild man, though, man.
Yeah, he slapped him twice. Said, "Keep my daughter's name out your mouth."
But he was like a sympathetic hero in ECW, though. He was a wild man, but as he gotten older, I mean, they played off on it too. Like he was like the old cowboy who came in when shit was getting crazy, and he come in and handle his business, and then he leaves. So
he had some wild matches with Cactus Jack.
Those are my favorites. the matches with Jack, because Cactus Jack's my favorite face of Foley. So those matches, legendary. Legendary.
And I think as far as immediate impact, let me get this. As far as immediate impact in terms of wrestling, I would say Bray Wyatt's death, I think, at least I'm speaking for us, and correct me if I'm wrong. As shocking as it is, for some reason, it's still not even registering to me.
Yeah. Nah, I thought it was a hoax, man, when I first heard it.
Something even like I understand,
but it doesn't feel real.
Yeah, until I don't see him again.
Yeah,
it's gonna be like, huh? I still don't really.
Because it happened Thursday, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I woke up the last 3 mornings like. First thought, my mom was like, "We're living in the world where Bray Wyatt no longer exists." Mm-hmm. It's insane.
Yeah, and 36 years old, and so I'm saying the numbers of the other people, right? And then when we would get to him, and I'm saying 36.
He had a lot of life to live, man. He was just,
you know what I'm saying now? And I'm like,
unfulfilled.
Bob Barker almost did 3 times the time.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's also why it doesn't sit right, being young.
Yeah, you're in his prime.
He's still on the active roster. And
it's been a while since they had a death.
Since Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
Since that happened.
And so I know he's a favorite of yours. He's one of my favorites in WWE. There's not really many people in WWE that I really cared to follow. I'm following the Roman Reigns thing, the Bloodline story, but the other story that I was interested in was Bray Wyatt's return. You saw him last year when they came to Philadelphia, right?
Nah, my son actually.
Oh, your son went.
Yeah, my son saw
and he
him.
was saying that the pop was crazy, and
my son, he was like real excited. That was my son's favorite wrestler.
Yeah,
and he was like, when he came out, he said the crowd just went bananas. He said it was so loud in there.
I remember the video, and it was a crazy pop.
He called a stir everywhere he went.
Yeah, and I think he's one of them rare guys that got over organically. It wasn't like a force fed. You have to like him. This dude had everything that you really wanted as an intangible as a sports entertainer.
Yeah,
I mean, he was very, very, very innovative with his promos, and none of his characters bled over, which was that's kind of hard to do for one guy to play a zealot. And then you had him play the Fiend. Then you had him play the wacky job guy that was like the Pee Wee's Playhouse type thing. Then when he came back, looked like he was finding his footing on what he wanted to do with his character now. And then I just feel as though that it was just that, like you said, it was unpromised. It was an unfulfilled character development. We could have seen what he really could have done. It's rough, man.
That's the crazy part for me. I feel the opposite. I felt like all the characters were related to me, how I took the characters, and how they felt to me, where they were related characters in a way. The cult leader, so to say, was related to the Fiend, was related to who he was for real. But
and he also used his real life to influence what he had on TV. Because I didn't know until earlier this afternoon that the Hawaiian shirt Bray, he said that died with Brody Lee. He said it felt disrespectful to still come out with that look, knowing that he wasn't here anymore.
Right.
He said so he buried that look with him. I was like, man, that's different.
Yeah,
that's different from me.
As you say, the Hawaiian shirts, Y'all two got the Bray Wyatt shirts on.
Yeah.
I didn't have any current Bray Wyatt shirts, so this was my homage. This was the closest I had to felt like Bray.
I got a lantern upstairs. I could go get it.
But I mean, he was really, really good. I mean,
well, his promos was good when he was in FCW, when it was him and Eli Cottonwood at first, because Brody Lee wasn't even with the WWE at the time, or Rowan, and when he first started doing Bray Wyatt, like they weren't even there.
Yeah.
He feuded with Sandow, and I think what's his other guy? He's not in the WWE anymore either. It's not Ricky Steamboat's son. I can't remember, but he had like 2 different feuds before he started having Rowan and Harper with him.
Okay.
And then that's when when they got him involved, that's when they really started pumping his promos, because he didn't even have like the full beard at the time.
Yeah.
So
even his promos was different though, man. Just the way how he was just delivering the line.
Well, we hadn't had that supernatural creepy element, I guess you would say, since Undertaker, right? And Undertaker hadn't been full time in quite some time, and yeah, I would say there was a void, and he filled that void. But not only did he fill it, there was a commitment to character that seemed different a little bit with him. Even the other two to a point, but a commitment to, you'd be like, yeah, this guy, you feel like you would be a little, if he's sitting next to you and y'all sitting next to you, you'll be like, is he in character, or is he really like this?
I know.
You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't feel 100% comfortable about if he's sitting next to you. You'd be kind of looking over your shoulder a little bit.
because he wasn't a small man, so
No, he wasn't.
He
He
was a
wasn't.
massive guy, from what I understand.
6'3".
Yeah, and he moved well with the weight. He moved well.
Remember when he was Husky Harris?
Before then?
His line was a tank with a Ferrari engine. Like that was his.
Wasn't he a football player, or he was getting ready to play football? I think
he did play football.
I remember I saw him as the Fiend. I got to see him as the Fiend in person, live.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
That's dope.
it was at a house show, but
'Cause I
still
never
creepy.
saw-
Still
I
creepy.
never saw the Fiend. I seen.
Still
we
creepy.
saw him as Wyatt at one show, though. Didn't we?
Yeah.
Creepy.
He definitely was one of them guys who, say if he was gone for 5 years, whatever, and then he comes back, I think he would still get the same kind of reaction. I think it would be, a lot more definite, like the crowd would be. Like if he was gone for a real long time and then came back, I think the crowd would just be like, oh,
So they're arguing now if that return he made is top 5, top 3 returns in WWE, and the crowd reaction there was a huge pop. I'm not gonna lie, that was a huge pop. I think it was in Philadelphia, right?
Yeah,
that was a huge pop.
How my
for his
son
return.
was saying it, he said that place.
I watch it. I watched it again because of what happened, but I watched that clip quite a few times. Only other runs I can remember really pop, the return of the Hardy Brothers at WrestleMania a few years back was a good pop.
Edge
had a good pop.
Because I never even was a fan of Edge until that moment.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. I said, people love him like that? This is what I've been denying myself.
Yeah.
But you know what? On the flip side of this, I know this company they had their moments. I will say this. But the fact that they respected his privacy and kept everything quiet and was just pretty much respecting his illness and everything, I will commend them for that, because everybody was jumping all on him. Well, where is he? Where is he? Where is he?
Yeah.
And the fact that they didn't let what happened to him leak in an era where everything can go on social media and start something.
So
It was out. I don't think anybody knew which it was.
To the
reports
extent.
of him being sick were out, but then somebody was like, "Oh, he's not sick. They're just taking him out." Nobody knew what was really going on.
yeah.
And
So
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And the
early rumors saying complications from COVID, which led to
exacerbated
whatever heart
condition.
event happened. So
He had a heart attack, and then
yeah.
he said he was making recovery because his dad, a couple of days before, had just said he was doing good, and he was going to be slated to return soon.
They didn't have a date, but they was. I guess what was being reported was saying that they was going to start getting some story creatives involved with him, starting to get involved with some things. So they didn't say who it was or what it was going to be, but they were just saying he was great. Yeah, like Jason said, he was great. Make his return. So
Yeah.
So what is y'all's favorite promo? Because he had so many of them.
A Fiend. Fiend is my favorite. I mean, I liked when he came back with the Firefly thing.
I like
with the Firefly Files, but it was something that Fiend was creepy. When I saw it in live person, he was scaring little kids and everything. That Fiend was creepy. I ain't gonna lie.
I like what it was a quote that he said. He said, "In the world," he said, "I'm red in the world that's black and white." I was like, "Damn, this dude different."
my favorite promo is when they were feuding with the Shield, and then he told the Shield it had to be the hardest.
The family versus the Shield.
The hardest bars ever. What did he say? He said something to the effect. He was like, "We're gonna crush your bones and pave the streets with something with the dust or something crazy." Like he used to. It's so much stuff he used to say.
Yeah.
It was like, and that's I think me personally, I really get into wrestlers that can talk. Like there's some wrestlers I like that can't talk for shit, but like I'm a big like my Bray. I probably have number 2 on my all time list. Number 1, Punk is my all time favorite wrestler, but I always notice like in guys that I have in my top 5 because I said then you have like other ones is Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, Macho Man, and then my number 5 I interchange because my 5 is a rotating door sometimes, but it's either usually occupied by The Rock, at one point Hulk Hogan, and Tajiri. He's like the only one that can't really talk to Jerry. Well,
he's spitting a lot of myths.
Yeah. So
and can kick the shit out of you.
But like when I look at my top, I start looking. I was like, all those guys can talk, and all those guys cut promos that you don't forget. Like we still talking about the cream of the crop with Macho Man.
Yep.
And that's been how many years?
Over 30 years.
Razor Ramon, countless, promos. So with me, I think I gravitated just because he could talk you into the building. Like he would say some stuff that you're still thinking about. You might not know exactly what he meant, but you're still thinking about it later on. I'm laying in bed like, dang, that man just said such and such, such and such. Whew, that's crazy. And I think a lot of stuff that he used to say and do can be interpreted by different people different ways.
Yeah.
Like you could get something different that I would have got from it.
Correct.
And I think to me the saddest part is I don't think we ever really scratched the surface of what he was capable of. Like his mind. Like when you see somebody that's a creative genius, you know they're a creative genius. It's no question about it. You know they have something to offer. And a lot of things, probably a lot of mismanagement on WWE's part. Not to make it about that, but there was a lot of mismanagement in his vision and his characters.
Right.
And I feel like we never
really got a chance
truly got his magnum opus, so to say, of what he could do. And him not being here closes that door. Right. Versus if he's still with the company, you always have hope that, they're finally going to get his character right when he comes back, or we're finally going to see. And we saw flashes of, like, when they put the belt on him and he became the champion. Perfect. Like, perfect choice. But then there were choices made, like, when he was the Fiend. Why do you have Goldberg beat him?
Yeah.
There are certain things, but I just feel like him as a character, he's one of those generational talents. He's one of those one-offs. There's not going to be another.
Yeah, for sure.
There wasn't one before. Like he's taken from other people.
One.
But he was nobody else. I was watching an interview yesterday when I guess somebody asked him, was he trying to be the next Undertaker? And he said in no way, shape, or form did he want to be the next Undertaker. He wanted to be the first Bray Wyatt. And that's everything he does is to be himself, because he said, nobody can be me. I can only be me, so that's the only thing I can do.
He definitely separated himself from his peers creatively. I mean, he was something different. Something special. Yeah.
and willing to take that risk, right?
Yeah.
He could have played it safe.
No, he was taking some tremendous chances. I mean, I remember when the first Firefly thing came out, everybody was like, "What in the hell is this?"
And I liked it though. I was like, "What is this?" I was like, "I like it."
The first episode of it,
totally different from what we saw of him, right?
It was like Mr. Rogers.
The accent was different. Everything was different.
It was the fact that you knew it was setting up for something terrible. Like he was gonna do something bad to somebody.
His delivery
Just
on
the way
it
it reminded me of see, I don't know if y'all remember, but Freddy's Nightmares, like his TV show, and how in the beginning of every one he would break down the story of what you're about to see, especially in the ones where he wasn't in, and then what would happen. I was like, yeah, that reminds me of that so much.
Yep.
I said he didn't went to another creepy level.
Because I remember I called you. I was like, "What in the world is he doing?"
Yeah, and it was crazy though, because I was like, I don't know where this is going, but I like it. I was like, this whole Mr. Rogers playoff, and I was like, it's weird, but I like it. I don't know where it's going, because it was a while before he got to the Fiend and all that. Yeah. But it was like little stuff you notice, like he'd have the gloves on. One says heal, one says hurt, and just like little details you would notice.
Then he added Alexa Bliss to it, and that really took off. Really got good.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were like, "Nah, they didn't want her with them," and then they had like a Joker Harley Quinn relationship, and it,
I don't,
it worked for that character.
Her character, but it was definitely a Harley Quinn ripoff. His felt a little bit more organic to something he created, where hers was just more of a ripoff to Harley.
Well, I watched her little video she did as tribute because she couldn't make it
she
to
did
SmackDown.
One? Okay.
Yeah, she did one. She was talking about she said that was probably the most fun that she's ever had in her career. Out of everything she's done over the years, that was the most fun. And how she was just honored that he brought her in on, because I think they just
he wanted
they brought her in. It's like she didn't ask it. They brought her in, ran it by, and she was just talking about how creative he was and how the experience was to work with him and to be under his wing. He thought enough of her to feel like she can fill those shoes to do that part. And it was a lot of what I did. Nobody had nothing bad to say about him. Like everybody that talked to him or talked about him, just had said similar things. He was funny, but he had deep conversations with you, and he was really nice. That's what they all said, that he was outside of what his character was, he was the nicest, genuine person. Because I saw a bunch of people that were in wrestling groups that I'm in. They're posting times when they met Bray or they had videos, and I looked at one earlier today. They said they had the guy had waited around. He usually doesn't wait around for the wrestlers. He'll usually catch them at the hotel or whatever, or airport or something is when he sees them. But he said one time he was like, we decided to mark out with the rest of the people and wait around. And he said he waited really late, and most of the people had left and whatever. And he said, "Hey, we're getting ready to leave." And then he said they saw Bray come out and get ready to get in his car, and they just yelled, "Hey, Bray," just to wave at him and stuff. And they said he legitimately came over, had a conversation with them, spent some time with them, took some pics and all that.
He was real gracious with his fans. I mean, if you see some of the stuff that's been coming out, he was very gracious with his fans. He actually knocked over a security cable just to take a picture with one little kid and everything.
You talking about when he lifted up the shoot? That was a security gate.
Yeah,
undid the gas on that.
Yeah, man, it's a terrible loss. I mean, my prayers is for his family and everybody, man.
Had a bunch of little kids.
Four kids, ex-wife, fiance.
Okay.
That's and all the kids are young too.
Yeah.
The young kids.
Yeah. So
Bray Wyatt.
Actually, to all four. I don't want to just seclude. So RIP and thoughts and prayers to their loved ones. And it sucks, but
makes you appreciate life a lot more now. And I said this to y'all off air, but I said publicly. I know we have a group chat that we in and we cut up in, and I'm honored that we have those conversations each and every time, because you never know when stuff like that's going to happen. So
yeah. All right, let's
change gears.
Yeah, let's get a little bit speedier, a little bit happier.
Is it hot in here?
Actually, I was a little cold. I don't know, because I got my legs out today, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all can't see. I got a little line.
Oh no,
suntan line. Let me
give you all
put these back in.
Oh no,
a whole lot of thigh.
Uh-oh. Tavon
My
pulls
legs
his
is
leg
under the table this time.
Which I want to go to.
Hawaii.
Oh, Maui.
Yeah, we could. All right, all right. Let's just go ahead. Let's get all the bad stuff out now.
Since we on that road, just wanted to talk about the situation going down in Maui right now, in Hawaii.
Yeah, that's a shame. Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers, positive energy to the people down there suffering, losing homes, losing property, losing everything, losing lives.
Yeah, it's sad, man.
Or the wildfires still going on, or were they extinguished?
Well, they said it wasn't. What was it from? They're saying it was from initially from something, a cigarette or
a cigarette lighter,
something,
or a bud, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Same way. I feel the same way.
Wow.
All I'm gonna do is go by. I'm just tell people.
That's why I say
do your research. Pay attention to everything going on around you. Just observe, and everything you need to know, you'll see. But as far as the aid and the help that they're receiving is disgustingly underwhelming.
They haven't did anything at all. That's a whole other other argument, man.
It's $700 per household, and I understand that there's caps and red tape and official quote unquote things that the government can do or will or won't do. And when we got money to do other things and send them to other places, not gonna say it specifically, but you know what I'm talking about. Let's take care of people that are here that need help. Period.
Facts.
That shouldn't be a question. That's
it's an obligation.
That's human decency.
It's an obligation.
That's human decency. So, and to anybody that can help, whatever programs are out there, Red Cross or whatever you can do to help, Hawaii needs the help. Maui needs the help. People like to vacation there. People like to visit. You like to get the lay. You like to take the pictures and say you went to Hawaii, but now Hawaii needs help. And that's how I feel about that.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people, they weren't letting people in.
As they shouldn't. Why would they?
Well, the problem was the aid wasn't coming through the way it was. Mm-hmm. So people, like families, were trying to, because one guy I was watching on Instagram, he wasn't allowed to leave or come back, but he was saying his grandmother needed her medication. But where they were at, everything burnt out. So he had to go down to the next town or whatever for the medication. But he said the problem was once if he left out of where they were at, they weren't going to let him back in, and it's a mess. They say there's people, and he's just saying, hey, if they're saying, hey, it's not safe, let them. Hey, you're going in at your own risk or whatever. And because they said a lot of the waters and the supplies and the food and stuff weren't moving as quick as it needed to move. So then people living there were like, yo, I go over to the next town, go get this, and come back. But they were like, oh, if you leave, they were running the risk of not being allowed back. And
that's weird.
It's a lot of it's a lot of stuff going on. So
like I said, that's a whole other argument for a whole other time. But yeah, thoughts and prayers is definitely with Hawaii and the folks that are affected by it.
So hopefully, they get the help they need soon, and things can be repaired and not back to normal, but back to some sort of normalcy.
Yeah, sometime
soon, because we, as the richest country in the world, shouldn't be having some of the issues that we're having. But hey, it is what it is.
I digress.
Yeah.
All right,
let's switch gears.
I don't really know what to go to, so I'm gonna just spitball some stuff real quick. Mm-hmm. We're gonna go through a little spitfire. We ain't gotta talk too long about it. Sports wise,
football's about to start.
Finally,
your boys fouled up.
So let's.
Yeah, I was going to say. What do you think about all this?
Me and Tim we were talking about it earlier.
If you go back, I can't remember what episode, but I've been saying this since the draft. He got drafted.
Made it abundantly clear.
I was not. A fan of giving up 3 first-round draft picks to get number 3 overall and draft Trey Lance. My first.
Especially when you could have grabbed Justin Fields.
We could have got Trey Lance at the spot we were at before we moved up.
It's one of the dumbest blunders in it.
We could have got Trey Lance second round for all I think. Now, with that being said, my heart at that time thought they were going after Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They drafted. I was never a fan of it. I kept telling people I knew I'm not a fan of him. Some people thought they saw something in him. He was going to help Kyle Shanahan open up the door. Maybe. I will say the 49ers lucked up with Brock Purdy. They got...
What's his real name?
Glock 45. They got lucky and may have found a hidden gem in Brock Purdy, who I do believe was a better quarterback than Trey Lance. I believe he's a better quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo. And to be his rookie year, I'm thinking he only got up from there. So we traded Trey Lance for a 4th round. We took that L. But it's hard to sell a toy that everybody knows broken. So you got to take what you can get. I personally would have traded him to the AFC, but it is what it is. Because that'd be the worst case scenario. You got to play Cowboys. I
was going to say, did y'all play them?
We beat them 2 years in a row.
But play them this year, though?
We play NFC East this year.
Okay.
But I'm talking about more about the playoffs.
Oh, okay. What I'm saying...
It'd be bad to play Cowboys in the playoffs and then lose to them and then Trey Lance go further than you. That's what I'm saying.
So can I? Because I have the live audio of Tavon when he found out this trade would happen.
And by the gun, I'm gonna go get Glock Purdy. I'm gonna go get Glock Purdy.
To be politically clear, abundantly clear.
Glock Purdy in the house.
So yeah, that's it with that. I think we're good where we're at. But yeah, we took that out. We lost some draft picks just to get a 4th round draft.
This just messed This has made the Cowboys camp interesting now, bringing him there. Though.
Well, yeah, now I think the odds are more on the Cowboys about. Maybe they strategically did that. Like, let's plant some doubt into the Cowboys by giving them.
I think it's gonna go down mid-season because they went and got him, and they still got the boy that went 5-1 for him. I forgot his name. What was the quarterback name?
I can't remember. I know you're talking about
the one last year.
Yeah.
He won 5 games.
I won't talk about that because one of the games was against us.
Oh man,
Rush.
Yes, one of the games was against us.
Motherfucker.
But yeah, NFC season starting up. So get your picks in. Rock with your team. No trade. No swapping.
I'm running my Eagles. Damn it.
So good luck to all your teams and Corey. God bless you. I don't know what the Patriots going to do, brother, but
it was crazy seeing Zeke in a Patriots uniform.
Yeah,
with the haircut.
Yeah. Basketball. We've been having a lot of World Cup basketball. I guess I don't know what the word is. Some FIBA World whatever. They've been having some good games. Anthony Edwards been balling.
Yeah.
And Austin Reeves been balling too. He got them out of a couple questionable games.
They both got paid. They trying to show out.
But Anthony Edwards looking real good right now.
I got one real quick. Did you see the WNBA? Home chick scored 53 points.
Do your voice real quick. So yeah. Speaking of women's soccer World Cup, Spain won.
I'm sorry.
Can't do nothing serious.
He can't.
I'm sorry.
Spain won the Women's World Cup. I was watching that. They beat England. Back to basketball though, real quick. I know Jason had a lot to talk about for, but not to cut you off, Jason. NBA. We're closing up on the off season, getting closer to preseason, and I know your resident Philadelphia 76ers is having some issues about who their point guard is going to be, if they're going to trade James Harden, not trade James Harden.
Oh, they still ain't figured out.
No. So he last week publicly
they got a mess on their hands.
Publicly tried to humiliate the 76ers GM, Daryl Morey, calling him a liar, saying
lost $100,000.
He'll never play for a Daryl Morey team ever again.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
And, so I do think the 76ers are at an interesting point out of any team in the league at the moment about their future.
They were probably about maybe 2 or 3 players away from actually doing something.
Yeah.
Now, it looks like they're ready to start the whole thing over
So, call me crazy. James Harden doesn't want to be a Sixer, and it's kind of hard for him to come back and play now, right? You already just said you don't want to be there. You done called out the GM. It's kind of hard to show your face back. Damian Lillard said he doesn't want to be in Portland anymore.
He don't want to come to Philly.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't.
It doesn't. No.
Because it's up to the team to make. They don't have player trade clauses. So, I'm 76ers, and I'm hearing, or vice versa, I'm Portland, and now I'm hearing James Harden, and he only got 1 year left on the deal.
Take it.
Do I call the 76ers that on Portland saying, hey, we can get you? It's up to y'all to convince them to, give them 100%, but y'all at least going to have Damian Lillard and Joel Embiid together.
At least 2 years.
I don't think they'll do it, though. If they can get the Heat involved,
I would make that call. If I'm Portland, I'm making that call.
If they can get the Heat involved, and somehow we can get Tyler Hero and
just
Kyle
because
Lowry,
he wants to go to the Heat, Kawhi Leonard wanted to go to the Clippers when he wanted to get out of San Antonio, but he made that pit stop in Toronto and won the championship.
That's where they traded him to.
Exactly, but he said he wanted to go to L.A.
Yeah.
He said he wanted to go to California, and all Popovich saw was CA at the end. He didn't know if it was California or Canada, so he went to Canada instead.
He sent him way out.
He took a long way to Cali.
Yeah, he abbreviated as CA, and so he traded him to Canada, thinking he wanted to go to Canada.
He said, "You see me where?"
So again, these players, I only think it's only one player that got a no trade clause at the moment. Is Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal.
And so, who cares? You want to go? I don't care.
I know that we don't care. But me personally, if they can get the Heat involved and we can get Tyler Hero and then somebody from Portland and we can ship off Harden.
The money worked for Harden and Damian Lillard.
I'm pretty sure they do, but I just don't think that Damian Lillard wants to come to Philly.
Because Dame will be there for at least 2 years.
Yeah, right. Because they're saying they
trade him after the season. Say Dame,
say
Dame, we will do our hardest to trade you. If you just give us one good season, we will get you to the Heat.
That's what they told James Harden about going to Houston. And we see how this is worked out.
He said, "You just make us pit stop here in Philly, get some cheesesteaks, and we're gonna send you back down."
But from all seriousness, no, I'd like to see the Heat get involved, and we can get Tyler Hero and another player from Portland, and we ship out PJ Tucker and James Harden.
Okay.
And keep Tobias Harris's expiring
I feel like Portland
I think Harris
can be in this race. Can be help solve Philadelphia's problems. And I think they could solve each other's problems.
Real rap though, I think a lot of people are locked down pretty much right now, but the way how our money is looking like, they saying next year we could be the highest, team to people that can, sign max deals.
Yeah, I got a bunch of young and a bunch of expiring deals.
Harris's deal comes off.
Yeah.
And what's the name's money hasn't started affecting the cap yet. Joel's. It won't until like next year.
Okay.
Following season. So we're gonna have bread, and especially if we move Harden.
Yeah.
I'm hoping happens because I never wanted him in the first place. I wanted Ben Simmons to learn how to shoot.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted.
Brian, you was abundantly clear.
I wanted that thing to work out because you drafted all those guys and you look at these other teams that drafted their winners like the Warriors and the Lakers and all those guys when they brought them, they drafted those dudes and built them up. I thought that's what we were doing, but
yeah. I mean, not everybody built the same.
Even the Kings, like look at the Kings, they drafted them and them guys is starting to show out now. I mean, they added some pieces to them. To make the front court better, but their point guards, they've had them.
They're gonna be nasty, man. They get.
Yeah. All right. Not really much else in sports I wanted to talk about. Shout out to the Sha'Carri Richardson and the men's relay team. They've been whooping ass too.
Yeah.
Killing it.
Sha'Carri was crushing them girls, man.
But nothing else really in sports I wanted to talk about. So, where y'all want to go? Y'all want to go wrestling?
You can hit that blue Beetle, or you want to say that for last?
I want to give people to click away a chance to click away if they haven't saw it. So,
right.
Wrestling. Back to wrestling.
Yeah. AEW. Yeah.
I feel like all WWE stuff. WWE was
A little heavy
stopped
today.
this week.
Yeah.
Well, nothing really happened past the passings because everything became a tribute after that. So
Yeah.
we didn't go any further in the.
Okay.
Because did we talk about Jay quitting, quote unquote quitting?
I don't remember
And
if we
the
talked
whole,
about it or not. I think we
Bloodline,
may
that's
have.
where we left off last. Bloodline.
I think we
Jey
talked about
Uso.
that
Yeah.
at the
Jey
SummerSlam,
Uso,
the
quote, unquote,
post-SummerSlam.
Okay. Yeah.
Quit.
So real quick then, we did what appears to see the last of Edge in WWE last Friday. Am I
Yep.
right on that?
Yeah.
Yes, last Friday.
Because last week was Punk did the
Tribute to him.
tribute
Yes.
next night. Yeah, so that was Collision.
So he did not renew his contract with WWE, and it appears that that was his last match in the WWE. How long was his career? 20?
25 years
25?
25 years with them.
with them. But
Is he already a Hall of Famer or no?
yeah,
Is he?
yeah, he got him.
Oh, I know.
Well, he got it
that's
when
right.
he-
When he was retired, he did get in all the things.
See, even
'Cause
Rey
Christian was
Mysterio is in the Hall of Fame, but he's still active.
Which
so
was weird.
yeah,
That was
Came
weird.
back.
but he got a lot of time. He had that WCW years, the WWE years.
All that stuff in
You
Mexico.
remember that when
In
they won't
Mexico.
release him from his contract, he tried to leave,
Yeah,
and they won't release him because he was hurt, and then they made him finish out his time, extended it.
Didn't they do that to Jeff Hardy too? Just have him lose in a bunch of matches.
Yeah, I think Jeff.
And
Is
then he like quietly left.
When I came down.
I thought it said, "What happened, Ray?"
I was never a fan of Edge. I unaffectionately call him the overrated R superstar.
I like
But
that.
I get like shout outs to D-Lou from the D-Lou podcast. He's a
D-Lou?
humongous edge head. I never got into him, but I respect his career. I respect what he's done. I've just never been a fan.
enjoyed Edge and Christian and Gangrel.
And
That little era, that Brew era. I enjoyed the Edge and Christian versus the Hardys, the Dudleys. That was pinnacle tag team in my eyes. I don't remember a more excited era for tag teams than that time of my life.
Yeah, they
like,
carried it, man.
I felt like they were bigger than whoever the heavyweight champion was at the time.
Hey,
Who
The ta-
was?
Exactly.
What is
I don't
Stone
know.
Cold? Like
I
Steve
could,
Austin, Rock?
and maybe see that time period was so
WrestleMania 17
was
that TLC
crazy.
match?
I mean,
That's
you gotta
second
look.
TLC.
They had
We
some
had
hitters.
too many. We had a lot of killers during that period.
It was that tag match alone could have made
I'm gonna
it.
leave that.
Sorry, don't even go there.
You know,
Sorry.
you know,
Yes. Ah,
it's this here, man.
yeah.
Blame
Slow
it on-
down, man.
Blame it on the what is this?
But but yeah, I'm thinking of tag teams today, and they're decent tag teams, but we did not, in my opinion, did not get 3 tag teams at the pinnacle of their career where any three of them deserved to be champion.
Yeah.
Right? Dudley's came in with their wave. Fire. Edge, Hardy, Christian, them Hardys going back and forth. Fire. Hardys had their pop. Edge and Christian had their pop. I couldn't tell you any given week who should be tag team champion.
Yeah, that shows you how good they were.
When they had those TLC matches and they was feuding with each other.
It started with the Hardys and the Brood.
Yeah,
like they were the ones beefing.
That's the ones that were really beefing.
And who did they beat for the titles? Because they were the champions in those matches.
Who?
The Dudleys.
The Dudleys were?
Yeah.
They were. Because Edge and Christian won the one at Mania. I forgot who won the one at SummerSlam.
Edge and Christian.
They won both?
Yeah, I think they won all three of them, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
They won all three.
I'm not gonna lie. Out of the three teams, Edge and Christian was my least favorite.
Mine too.
I think everybody was like,
I'm biased because my mom was a big fan of the Dudley Boys. So
you could not like the Dudleys, and you could not like the Hardys.
I like Matt. Matt Hardy's my guy, man.
See, I was always
that's
Jeff.
Especially when Matt was solo. He was version 1.
Well, speaking of Matt Hardy,
version 1.
There was a post about what was the biggest feud in WWE history that didn't get the proper view. And Matt Hardy, they said nobody said Edge and Matt Hardy.
Yo, that was real life.
That was so funny. That was street
that
beef.
shit says it was the biggest feud that should have been. No, they said what was the backstage feud that should have been the real feud. Nobody was saying Edge and Matt Hardy for some reason. And the dude in the comment was like,
and that was like
they were trying to sweep that one under the rug. It never happened.
And can we give Matt Hardy the respect? Matt Hardy the respect that he did not.
Yeah, Matt Hardy should have shot that back. I don't want to
on live TV.
I don't want to condone workplace violence or school shooters or postal workers going crazy. But he, in all fairness, if he came in there and smacked old boy with a foreign object in real life,
it was justified.
It would have been justified.
Now when he ran up on him. When Edge was walking to the ring with Lita and he ran up on him and on the backstage right before he took a commercial, I thought it was real. I said, "Oh, Matt Hardy ran up on him."
Did y'all see how dirty they did him on his last match?
Yo,
Matt Hardy's last match.
One recently?
No, when in WWE, like when that shit transpired, Matt Hardy's last.
I don't remember. Wasn't he version 1 at the time?
Yeah, that's when he had the Punisher shirt and coming out the camo. That's my favorite.
And he had to curse out Edge. All his emotion came out there. I think he ended up losing. They made him lose to Edge. Mm-hmm. Was Lita interfering with the man? They did all this shit and rubbed it in his face.
Well, SummerSlam
made him lose.
Yeah,
made him lose. Right. And there was something else that transpired. But anyway, at the end of this whole thing, the real Matt Hardy, after the bell, ding, 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 the real Matt Hardy came back out and was like, you fucking whore, da 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 da. Started throwing shit.
Oh shit, I don't remember this one.
And his emotions came out at the end.
I know he won. I mean, Edge won the SummerSlam the battle, but Matt Hardy won the war because he won the last match when they fought in Unforgiven. Matt Hardy won that one.
No, they fought again on Raw.
Did they?
Yeah, they fought.
His last match, Edge won. It was such a slap in the face.
I was like, yo, this really happened.
They didn't have to do no more after them.
It was and Lita came out and interfered or some shit, low blowed him or something.
I don't remember.
It was something with Lita. The whole thing was a smack in Matt Hardy's face.
Oh hell yeah!
And I wouldn't have said, nah, I can't do this.
Was that what broke him? He wanted to delete everything after that.
delete. That was
a good character.
That shit was the most fucked up. Like you could try to screw me over on my last match here, like i.e. Bret Hart, but you gonna tell me I gotta wrestle the dude that smashed him that went behind my back, smashed my chick, took her. Y'all got her saying she with him in the show.
And she actually wildly.
And I gotta lose to him, and I gotta not really hurt him.
But they said they were saying,
I'm dropping him on his head.
But they said right before he came back and did the SummerSlam thing, he said they had all of them had already talked and they had already squashed.
Tell him, I'll show you the video right after we get out. that boy was pissed.
This ain't
It came.
squashing
It
that.
probably
Like you
was.
said,
was
the feelings,
pissed.
the real feelings come out.
He was calling her a hoe.
Now they probably was meant about it. Said let's just do business and be done with it.
It
But
was
like you
something else
said,
that transpired that really triggered
the
him.
real thing happened.
And the whole thing that is going down, but he was pissed at the end of it. That's
He
all I
made it
remember.
abundantly clear.
Like,
So yeah, shout out to Edge. All right, you got away with one, my boy.
as the young Englishman 21 Savage would say, I'm gonna slap him with the stick.
And when he came down,
I came down.
But you know what that always used to remind me of too?
What did it remind you?
It reminds me of Kurt Angle and Karen Angle. And that whole
Jeff
angle
Jarrett.
with Jeff Jarrett,
man,
it was reliving the whole Matt Hardy thing all over again.
Ooh, that was deep.
Even though I heard their story is a little different,
yeah.
but it was still similar. And then you
Yeah.
still had Kurt Angle having to come out there wrestle.
Was
Jeff
this
Jarrett.
Kurt Angle or regular Kurt
I
Angle?
think he was.
I think it was the transformation of Kurt Angle.
Oh, that's
My-
a dangerous. That's a dangerous man. I wouldn't have done nothing.
But that promo,
I wouldn't
was
I'd be afraid to-
Slammiversary is like one of the best build-up videos I ever saw in my entire life. Like their video package going into that match, I think they had squashed everything by then, but they were just
Okay.
having their last match.
We was just talking about that TNA Kurt Angle was a different animal. He ain't feel no pain.
Nah, he's
Frog
immortal.
splash,
This nigga did a somersault off the cage and did
It hit nothing.
nothing. Nothing.
And got up like nothing.
He didn't feel shit.
He said, "When I came down,
It wasn't that bad.
He's going perks, man. He ain't gonna feel a damn thing.
when I came down."
All right. So yeah, let's get rid of AEW real quick. Wembley Stadium All In pay-per-view happened today. Box office records for tickets, attendance.
That's good for them.
But don't they got
In
an
the stadium?
asterisk by it though?
No,
Because
No.
they rebuilt the stadium with more seats.
it still beat the record.
Nah,
It's not just a stadium. No other
But I'm
stadium
saying,
ever got
but
that many.
But they added more seats since they were there though.
Well,
Like,
but didn't WWE go to Wembley?
92, yeah.
No, didn't they go to London not too long ago? They went to the O2 Arena.
O2 Arena.
Yeah,
Okay.
O2 Arena.
I mean, hey,
That's
hey,
an arena.
They
They
said
Hey.
worldwide record.
hey.
Well,
all I know is
That's good for them.
they sold it. They sold it.
Good for them.
That's good.
A lot of money.
Yeah,
That's good for actually the
He
entire
can
industry.
he can pay those artists whose music he's been using.
Oh yeah, that's what
Yeah, they gonna
we were
have to.
talking about. I said, Tony Khan spends a pretty penny on that music.
yeah. He
Yeah,
getting
they
them from
said,
the
they
pay-per-views.
said Metallica ain't cheap.
Nah, that's
What's
about $1
the
million.
name came out to We Will Rock You.
Who?
Saraya.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she came out to We Will Rock You.
She
He
had
pays,
to right there. Oh man.
and that's not even counting like Orange Cassidy's two themes. The last two themes he's had are official songs. Like
Yeah.
the first one. What was it,
Ain't
the
Moxley's
Pixies?
and ain't
The
his a
Elite
new
coming
song,
out.
Wild Thing or something.
Wild
The
Things
Elite
Expensive.
coming down at theirs.
Uh,
The Elite
Yeah.
came out with some bullshit today. They came out with something different. They didn't do the normal
yeah.
entrance.
Oh, but we
It
was
was super
talking
kicks
about,
and something.
Did
they
they
said
win?
they didn't plan out the entrance for the for what's the name? Oh yeah, they came out to theirs, but it started with it's a super kick party thing, and then it switched to their regular theme
Okay.
when they got. Oh no, that wasn't Elite. That was the Bucks. I forgot it was two different matches.
Sorry, I'm thinking about the Bucks. Yeah,
the
sorry, I'm
Bucks
thinking
came
about the
out.
Bucks.
It's a super kick party, and then
It switched.
over.
What Jay they
Yeah.
have on?
They did not.
They wearing fucking Adidas. Man.
Adidas wrestling
That's why they
shoes.
lost because they had them Adidas on.
They was in England. They said
lost
we
in the three
gotta
stripes.
rock the Adidas. I
They
guess
lost in the 3 stripes.
it's a European thing. I
Drake
guess
said checks over stripes. That's what
they don't really rock with Nikes. I don't know.
But remember, the Blackpool Combat Club came down. Tavon said they didn't think that entrance out all the way.
They
'cause
did not.
They had the full access.
Yo.
People had full access to the
They,
match.
so you know how Moxley and them usually come out of the crowd. So in normal stadiums, they come down the stairs. They got a path that security already probably been planned.
Why am I laughing already?
So these motherfuckers start coming. Oh, for one, these motherfuckers came out in trench coats. What they had? No,
Oh,
they had the LO governor outfits.
Yeah,
on.
they had what is it? Pea
They had
coats.
the
came
pea
out-
coats.
They came out to black
coats and the
Combat
top
Club pea
hats.
coats.
and everything. But I wanted to smack Willie. He looked so smackable.
Who's this?
Willie Yuta.
You know,
Yeah, he just like got me beat me up face. But
Remember when Moxley had to palm the little kid? The little kid was coming here.
So look. They didn't think it through. They thought people were going to stay in their seats when they walked through. So not only is the stadium got the stadium seating and the stairs,
It was like
you
the
have to
open
walk
area.
through the open area to get to the middle of the ring. So once they got to the open area, motherfuckers from all the seats started, whoa, they over here. And they all rushed them. Security couldn't do shit. So like you said, the little kid came up on the Moxie was like, hey.
Now think about that, right? You got 80-something thousand people, right? And
They didn't think about that final walk path. They thought nobody was going to run out of their seat.
What is 20 what is 20 unarmed security guards going to do if 10,000 people start rushing?
Hey, you better start using your super kicks.
You gotta hope your voice matters. Like, hey, stop.
Hey, they made it to the ring,
Thank heaven.
and yeah, that was a really gruesome match. But overall, I really enjoyed the card.
Yeah,
Good.
Nothing surprising, like surprise appearances, but
there was one during the pre-show.
I said I didn't watch the pre-show. That's the only.
So you didn't see when Mercedes Monet came out, or she was in the audience?
I saw her in the audience. They kept showing her throughout the night.
Okay.
Yeah.
They had to.
She kept getting the pop every time they looked at her.
Yeah, they were showing she was looking good.
I think she's the biggest star they have.
Yeah, well, not officially yet, but she coming. She coming. Excuse me. I enjoyed the card. I don't know what you thought about it, but
good time.
I really enjoyed the card. I think everybody did well. I can't say that somebody did terrible or. Remember one time, what was that pay-per-view we watched down here last, and the Osprey match happened, and then the right match after, it was like, damn, Osprey and Omega killed it. This shit kind of dulled down. Remember?
I was here for that.
You weren't? Okay, but you remember, right?
Yeah.
We were just like, damn, how do you follow up with this bullshit?
Yeah.
I felt like all matches, even the women's match, I felt like all matches kept it up to a level that kept me interested.
I mean, they was in a foreign arena for them for the first time. They had to.
Yeah.
Like, they had to go all the way in.
So, I really enjoyed this card. I don't know what I give it yet, but they didn't have any, like, earth-shattering matches. I still think Osprey, Omega's 2 matches this year were the best matches I've seen. I still think Dax Hart, the FTR and
The Bucks
was good.
Yeah, but that one that happened on television not too long ago with FTR.
Match? Oh, and White and Juice Robinson.
Yeah,
that was a good match.
That was real good.
I was just ready to ask that. Which match was better?
I would probably say that one was better.
Because
this wasn't a bad match. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, this wasn't a bad match, but yeah, that was a good match.
So, Glock Wheeler was out there going crazy. You know when he speared Cash Wheeler?
Oh,
when he speared what's your name through the rope? Oh my god!
Yeah. He had a moment.
Man, fly so fast.
He had a moment where he was like, "Fuck this shit." He went full speed. That was a little scary.
Yeah,
and they had a couple spots today. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
There's a couple spots that he was like, "Whoa."
Now, is that a match where y'all surprised the Bucks lost?
I didn't know who was gonna win.
Yeah, the way it started ending, it was a couple times we thought definitely.
We thought the Bucks was gonna.
The Bucks gonna take this,
and then I couldn't tell you, but I felt like FTR is gonna keep their momentum, especially with the bad publicity that they got. It would have been hard for them to take that L right now.
I just think that they would have won regardless.
FTR,
it was a good match.
Yeah,
I think they would have won. For one, I think that the Bucks being tag team champions feels like it's commonplace, but then also I'm like they're not in the good favor with the company, so I don't think they'll win matches like that anymore for a while.
It was a good match. It was a good match
because Omega and Hangman lost too, right?
No, Omega
no, they did lose.
Yeah,
they did lose.
So they're going to lose. And CM Punk won, right? And CM Punk FTR won?
Yeah.
I got you. All right. God, I'm just putting 2 and 2 together. That's all.
That's all. Well, he coming to Saturday nights. It's 2 different companies. A Saturday night company and
you can't have long hair Saturday.
Yo, ain't no.
Unless you keep it in a ponytail like Jay White.
Saturday nights ain't for long hair, baby.
So speaking of Cash Wheeler, real quick, I know we're a week late, but he did have to go to court for an incident involving a road rage incident where he brandished a weapon.
Got booked.
Got booked. He was still good enough to make this international trip to England.
The visa was still good.
They didn't deny him, So hopefully, he reflects on his anger. He not a small dude. He's a stocky He's a stocky guy.
He's strong as hell too.
He's a stocky guy.
Did y'all see when
if this motherfucker pull up out the truck?
Yo, did y'all see
if you get out the truck looking like that, you
got have y'all seen the video footage when that fan tried to rush Bret Hart and Cash Wheeler grabbed him and had him in a headlock?
With the Hall of Fame thing?
And knocked the shit out of him.
No, Travis Browning was on him first. Ronda Rousey's husband. You talking about the Hall of Fame thing, right? Yeah, Travis Brown was on him. I said,
oh shit, Travis Brown wasn't fighting a woman.
The views and expressions are not.
It's a fact. Travis Brown is for women. Go look it up, people.
And he got knocked out defending his wife's honor.
But the whole card was, I thought was good. Two things I'd never seen in wrestling television.
Mm-hmm.
One man had a wardrobe change mid-match. Mid-match came out with a whole different theme music.
Different persona.
Different outfit. And his manager also changed clothes, changed jackets. And Chris Jericho.
We got time.
Chris Jericho had a concert did his own concert for his entrance.
In front of 80,000 fans. There's no way you can pass up an opportunity and say I performed in front of 80,000 people live.
That probably was locked as soon as they got that arena booked.
Yep.
He probably said, "There's no way that you're gonna have my music just playing. I'm not doing it. Not in that stadium."
Yeah, he performed. It was kind of dope though.
It was good.
They had the band up on the rafter thing at first, and then
shout out to the Wizard.
Yo, how was the Sting match, man?
Yo, Sting man.
Sting did good. That match was good too. I forgot about that. That was a good match too. It was Sting and Darby versus Swerve and Christian.
And casket match.
Yeah, casket match.
It was good. That was getting.
Christian fought in the match.
Oh, okay.
That was
Luchador.
He interfered a little bit.
Yeah.
The Nick Wayne interfered a little bit. Darby need to get checked out. I'm sure he in the hospital with Moxley and them getting checked out.
He got hurt that bad.
No, he was just the stuff.
This motherfucker just be jumping and diving and shit. He got a collapsed lung.
I like Darby Allin, but I think he got to stop. He downs himself too much. Like in real life, that throws me off on him sometimes. It's like, bro, you in a good position in your life, man. You need to stop talking like this.
Yeah.
Appreciate what you got. Right.
Yeah.
You're doing too much.
It was a good match. The other person that took a bad spot, MJF had a questionable
on the steps.
When he slipped or something?
No,
it was
motherfucking. It went the way it went, but it could have went real bad too. What's his name? Adam Cole just had him for a normal.
Was it the suplex into a package on the steel step?
Yeah, it wasn't like a normal. It wasn't like a normal just suplex. It was more like the kind of one you kind of come down, like almost. But
Adam Cole hits his own back doing
the way they were on the stairs when they did this on the stairs. So he jumps down as he's going back. His back hits the stairs. Adam Cole's back, but MJF's neck is like at the edge of the stairs.
Ooh, okay. No,
and it's like it was like this. It was like. And
he lucky he didn't snap it.
It was real close to be like, damn, he could have really fucked up.
I mean, it was
good thing he got broad shoulders.
It was one of
those. He had a cut. You saw he ended up getting cut right here where it hit the stairs. So but if it was like 5 inches over, that shit would have been in the back of his neck.
You know, if he got cut, something's hurt. Something hurt bad.
Because the spot, it was
once the adrenaline wore off, he's like, what is it?
It wasn't any room for error. Like you could tell the spot went the way it was supposed to. It went the way it was supposed to, but. It's that whole delay between the spot went the way it was supposed to, but it was no room for error on that spot.
Yeah,
that was a scary one.
That was.
And how long Cole been wrestling?
NXT. I don't know.
No, he been around longer than that.
He long know that
he's a PWG graduate.
Yeah, but that was a little
he
questionable.
So
it worked.
I'll give it to him. They hit it.
But again,
it had no room
if he slipped or anything, that would have been a real bad. a real bad fall.
What I'm hitting to is that he trusted him to do it. He got the experience.
Yeah.
Protecting.
Because it definitely, like, the way it was like, just the room that they had on that step, it was no room for it. Yo, if we don't hit this perfect, somebody going out here on a stretcher.
Yeah.
It was good.
They probably like, are you sure? When we out there, you might as well, because if you don't do it, it'll probably lead to something else.
And then when we thought it was going to be the count out, I could have swore it was about to be a count out.
Yeah, he wasn't moving. He wasn't moving. That's how we all thought it was going to be. That's the end of it.
I ain't never seen the man get up from 9.2 to between 9.2 and 10 that quick.
Speaking of MJF, you see that he just got a movie role?
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. He's doing a voiceover thing for some animated cartoon. Yeah,
that might not be bad for him.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, now people can't say that guys from AEW ain't getting work outside of the ring.
That's cool.
Because he's getting hired to do voiceover stuff. Hopefully, it lead to more stuff with all of them that want to do that.
And can I also I was talking to the table, and I've told y'all before, I said I'm just so mad at myself for spending over 30 years not loving the man they call Sting. I just started liking Sting. My whole life I never liked Sting. I didn't like Surfer Sting. I didn't like Crow Sting. I kind of maybe liked the Joker Sting a little bit in TNA, but I didn't get full. Yo, Sting, my guy, man. He was out there taking Sting was out there wild.
He's taking it. And he said, fuck it. This is my last go round. I'm doing it. He been jumping.
Sting was something else, man.
He been jumping lately.
He was half Joker Sting today, yo. He came out. He was Jack the Ripper for a second. Had an English accent.
Yeah.
I gotta see if it's on live. And then he took that mask off. He had the half Joker face. I said, yo, I knew he was gonna do some shit today.
Yeah.
And then when he jumped off that one time and then went back in the ring, got back up and jumped off again. I said,
he's been back with AEW for what, 3 years now?
Sound about right.
And he's had a real good run over there.
Yeah, I was gonna say that it's been better than when he was in WWE.
This same conversation about Billy Gunn.
I posed the question to Tavon earlier because I
has Billy Gunn getting more appreciation, recognition in his stint at AEW his entire career.
Yeah.
Because I feel like
he was last fiddle.
Because we agreed that even when he was New Age Outlaw, Road Dogg was a mouthpiece.
Yeah. He was the muscle.
Billy was the muscle, and he's the famouser. But I say he never
mostly
really got shine in DX.
Yep. And so, I guess since we're talking about everybody's matches, Claim won, and
Billy Gunn is
there was a return. Big motherfucker. I feel like every time he comes out, he's bigger than the last time.
He's as big as Brody Lee.
He's as tall as Brody Lee, but strong
size wise.
Like
that match,
they looking at each other like this.
He's about what, 6'6"?
Brody King, him and Brody King, like he's the same size as Brody King. I'm like, oh, he might have been a little taller. I was like,
but muscle.
Yeah.
However old he is, 60.
I think he is.
50s. Yeah, he's
God, Lee, I feel like he getting bigger as he get older.
I know he was on.
Don't he bodybuild? I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was on something. He was trying to enter.
It's crazy at that age.
He might have done it already. Cause I know he.
Oh, he ain't 53. That dude is 59.
Oh, yeah, about to be 60. Yeah.
Hey, I know he was trying to compete in some bodybuilding thing. That's why he said he started putting on the muscle.
60 years old, flinging around. God bless you.
Yeah.
And shout outs to House of Black with the Bray tribute.
Yeah,
he brought out the
lantern.
Brought out the lantern. Buddy Murphy was holding the lantern. They just when they came out because they came out first, and then he put it down on the rampway. And then when they walked to the ring, then everybody, even when the Acclaim came out, they walked around it. Cause I was like, yo, I don't want nobody kick the leg.
They're not gonna do that.
They came out, walked around it. What's the name? Had his bars, of course.
And then who he barred up tonight?
All of them.
All of them.
Barred up England. Barred up them.
All right.
And then as a show of respect, they handed them the belts when they lost.
Yes.
Which I thought was dope.
I think House of Black would be better characters in WWE.
I think they were. I don't want to say that they're mirrors.
They're underutilized.
But they are, because of that supernatural storytelling that they want to do, I do think WWE is more of the presentation company, whereas AEW is more of the WCW wrestling that we remember. Yeah.
Stick them on SmackDown, you get something better.
Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and end this. We're at hour 20. Let's end this with a topic that we've been. I know everybody didn't get to see it,
The big dog.
but it's a common theme we talk about: comic book movies. Blue Beetle came out last week, 2 weeks ago, last week.
Yeah, last week.
Again, not everybody here saw it, and so for people viewing, if you have not watched Blue Beetle,
That's me.
and do not want to get spoiled, we'll try our best not to spoil it.
I won't say anything.
Well, maybe
For
you don't
Jason.
even gotta get a disclaimer then, because we
But-
can't spoil it. Jason ain't seen it yet.
Yeah, so we may. Do you care
Well,
about spoilers?
We'll wrap around it.
I mean, if
maybe.
it's anything that's going to be interesting.
All right,
I kinda
so
like not
we'll,
going
we'll,
in, but-
we'll do our best.
Oh, we can't tell them about the pre-credit screen then.
Yeah,
When they got Batfleck come out. Oh, shit.
It was him, Aquaman. But it wasn't the Aquaman. It wasn't Jason Momoa's Aquaman. It was the young boy that's
it's an alternate universe.
He said, when I came down,
But
when I swung that chair.
I'll say discretion advised. So we may or may not give a little too much about Blue Beetle. You as a viewer make that choice if you want to turn now or not. If you do decide to turn, make sure to follow us on Instagram, the Watchers Podcast. Follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But let's get into it.
Okay.
Blue Beetle. Let's start with 1 through 10. Rate the movie. Whoever wants to go first.
You go first.
7. Go ahead.
7.5.
Yeah, 7.
Okay. I thought y'all were going to give higher, honestly.
No.
I thought y'all were.
I'm
I
sticking
think
with
7
7.
is gracious enough.
Yes. Now, did you enjoy it more or less than The Flash?
I like Beetle better than Flash.
Okay. I am
Slightly.
under that same impression.
Just
Just slightly
better, yeah.
better than The Flash.
I mean, they both got Batman in it, so.
Batman. But only reason why I say it's slightly better is because I think what would have edged the Flash over it is had Ezra Miller not have messed it up for them all. But I think acting wise, I think that the young boy from Blue Beetle and him are like they're neck and neck, and being able to draw emotion from somebody when they act.
Yeah.
They're both really good.
Okay.
What is his name, by the way? I never
Zolo.
Oh, I can't.
And that
pronounce
last
his
name, you might as well just.
Oh, okay.
When I try to get the last name straight,
I would just keep saying the boy from Cobra Kai. That's
There
what
we go.
The boy from Cobra Kai. I would just stick to that. That's what I've been doing.
oh god, it's a hard name to pronounce. I don't want to butcher it.
Yeah.
My man's from Cobra Kai.
We sorry, Jolo. Jolo, we know how to say your first name, Jolo.
Yeah, that's a cool last first name. I like it. So I think my thing about Blue Beetle, why I can't rank it too high, is it was nothing new that we hadn't seen before. I can give you a generic superhero movie plot, and more than likely it happened in this movie.
True.
And I think,
You'll figure it out quick when you walk in.
yeah, in 2023, it's hard to put out a movie. And I don't know, you sent out a numbers thing today about movie sales. I don't think it may hit its budget. What I saw was like 102 million budget.
I hope it
it's
does.
at 88 right now.
I mean, I hope it does.
Probably won't.
It probably, maybe not. I doubt it.
What else is coming out the rest of this summer?
Nothing much. I don't believe so, but I just don't see people going. If you haven't seen it in the first 2 weeks, I doubt you're going to get.
It dropped. It went from being number 1 to number 3 this weekend.
Yeah, I think it's going to go from number
good.
3 to like.
That's not good.
Oh, what's
man.
number 1 this week?
What's that joint that just came out? I put it in the
The
group
meter?
chat. No. I put it in the group chat. I just don't remember.
Oh, not Gran Turismo?
Yeah.
I'm gonna see that too.
I've been hearing some good
So
things.
what's number
about
2,
that.
my babe?
Barbie.
Yeah.
And see, Barbie's still doing numbers. That's the weird thing. It's still doing 17. It did almost as much as Gran Turismo. It did an open
You know what
weekend.
it is? I think the hype of Barbieheimer's over, but the fact that movie is so funny, people are still going to go watch it.
Yeah. Well, I just don't understand. All right, and I'm saying this with anger. How the hell
The man,
is Medic 2 at 352 million worldwide? What?
Because
That's
it is
international
hilarious.
tickets, man.
It is hilarious.
It is international tickets.
It is.
Oppenheimer's at 300. It's more than Oppenheimer.
No, you know what? They might make their budget back.
Blue Beetle. It might. It's right there. It's right there.
Might worse stop.
Yeah.
So it's enough for them to warrant a sequel. Then.
Do you warrant a sequel for making your money back?
If you do a sequel, you got to put somebody else in it with him. He
So,
won't sell by himself.
so speaking of the director, who already said he doesn't know if Blue Beetle will be in the new DCU or not. He hoped it is. He has plans for 2 other movies. He has
two more Beetle movies. I'm
2 more Beetle movies,
Okay.
yes. And he has a actor in mind who he would like to play a prominent character who we hadn't seen in this movie, but was alluded to a lot.
Did he say or
He said the actor's name, and I'll show y'all some pictures in a little bit.
I know exactly what you're talking about,
Yeah.
and if they do this, it is uncanny.
Yeah.
So do you base that second story around those 2 characters? Those 2 Blue Beetles. Me personally, I think you got to put somebody else in there. What?
I do think that's where the second movie goes.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. But, yes, that's where the second movie goes.
I think you got to put another person in there.
Maybe, maybe not.
It
But
may.
the third movie, depending on how the second movie goes, can tie into the third movie. And that storyline where he wants to go with the 3 movies he stated, and the characters, not the actors, but the characters from the movie. So we talked about Ted Kord before. I don't want to get too much away, but we talked about him in previous episodes. But if you watched Young Justice, there are some characters in there, and there's a big
Plot point.
plot point involving
Beetle and
another entity, and it's a lot bigger than just Blue Beetle. And there's other characters, and there's other things who we hadn't get to see yet. It kind of showed it right at the beginning of the movie, and we'll talk about it offline. But
who is since you brought up Young Justice, who is a character that is around? Let me rephrase this question: who is a character that, if they were to cast them to match Jolo's age and his presence, like who would you
I get
cast
you.
that's
So-
not part of that mythos to put him there to bring the movie up?
Remember, we had this discussion about how would you do DC, and I said I would probably start with some of the younger characters,
and
right?
I think that's what they're trying to do.
Well, you don't know yet. You don't know yet
Well, we know
because this is
Superman
not.
Legacy's
This is
first.
not. This is not James Gunn's product. This was inherited to James Gunn. He doesn't know if nobody knows if it's
He
keeping.
weaved it in pretty much.
Nobody knows if it's staying or not.
He'd be crazy not to include him.
We'll see. We'll see. That's all I'll say. We'll see. We don't know.
Who was you going to say? What was you going to say?
So, with that being said, there are a few characters. If we keep Jason Momoa, because I could have sworn he said Aquaman leads us directly into the new DCU. When he announced this,
I forgot that was coming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the date's still staying.
when
the
he
same.
announced this, and sorry if I'm wrong, but I'll pull it up after the show. James Gunn said Aquaman will directly lead us into
What he got going on.
his stuff.
Okay.
So if they do keep Jason Momoa, the Aqualad, there's a whole supernatural element that we didn't really get into, but I think they will start getting into under James Gunn.
And I think they're kind of alluding to it because of some of the characters that they're bringing,
Correct.
they're using now with Creature Commandos and
Yes,
Swamp
and so
Thing.
there's Zatanna. There's some younger players at work that we never really got to play with. I don't know how do we do sidekicks from the main 5, so I would stay away from anybody directly associated to the main 5. So Kid Flash, Robbins, all of them,
Yeah.
I wouldn't really do right now. But the ones that are kind of cousins out there, cousin characters.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Because I'm like, if you have, because that boy, I mean, he a man. I think he's like 20-something years old. I won't call him a boy, but like he has Tom Hollands's like innocence, and he also, when he was showing like the parts when he got mad, like I believed it. Like you know, some of these people when they do this, it's like I don't believe it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It feels forced. With his, it don't feel forced. But I think if they give him the opportunity, I think you can get a No Way Home at the end if they do it right.
Okay.
They just got to give him a chance.
Okay. With the age thing, Hawk Girl has already been announced.
Oh, okay.
In Superman's movie. That actress is like 19 or 20 years old.
Yeah.
Zolo is like 21, 22, by the way.
Before we get too far from Blue Beetle, did anybody see the advertisement on the Philadelphia Art Museum steps that some people were upset about and some people?
No.
So the steps, they stuck stickies or however they did it with stickies. It was a big ended up being a big Blue Beetle advertisement on the steps. Some people were upset. It was like, oh, why would they use this for? I'm like, it's just
the
the art
actors
museum.
couldn't promote the movie, so
Yeah, and it was I'll just pull it up so y'all can see it.
Oh, so
Yeah, so it's individual.
Oh, that's hard.
Well, that's
they mad
dope.
about that? Oh, because what? They want people to still run up there like Rocky?
Yeah, then people were like, oh, it's messing up the mystique. But it's temporary. It's not permanent. It's
What is
temporary.
it? Let me see.
See.
What if it's something that can wash away? They need to chill.
Oh, okay. They made like a little mirror with the steps.
It was a big old advertisement on the steps.
Yeah.
But yeah, some people were upset about it.
Oh my God.
Okay.
You know how people are.
they can go to hell.
Some people thought it was cool. Some people were like, oh, I think it's real cool. It's colorful.
People going people.
A lot of people was like, I don't even know what Blue Beetle is, but that looks cool.
Yeah. I would like to see him stay. I do think there's a lot of good story left for Blue Beetle.
He's got an amazing story if they really stick to the script.
And the director already alluded to hitting that story in particular. So
Especially the second one.
Yeah, I don't know if the numbers will justify it. That's what I'm a little nervous about. It, to me, some parts felt HBO Max's, and I think it was originally supposed to be HBO Max.
Yeah, it was. You can tell with some of the effects. And everything.
Yeah.
But the way how it was crafted, it kind of reminded me of almost beat for beat with
Spy
Senshi.
Kids.
No, Senshi. Just Spy Kids. I'm talking about Senshi.
I like the Spy
It felt a little beat for that, except for it didn't get it didn't overgrow itself at the end like Senshi, because I think Senshi, they kept that still down to the ground level. It'd have been $1 billion movie.
Yeah, I think I enjoyed Shang-Chi a little bit more than I did, honestly.
Okay. I seen Senshi twice in the theater. And it's one of the movies I'll be forgetting that exists.
I saw it once.
I remember. You know what I remember more over than that? Eternals.
I think he's gonna say Eternals.
Okay.
I remember Eternals more so than that.
I didn't hate Eternals.
I didn't hate it either. I don't like it over Senshi, but I think it's more present in my mind than Senshi is.
Okay. Go ahead.
Off subject, on externals. No, I'm kidding. Off the Eternals, I liked it. I mean, too. I just watched it again not too long ago, and I thought that movie got a real bad rap. Man.
You know what I think it was with the Eternals? I mean, it's multiple things. Everybody got a different reason why.
Right.
I think it was one of those, because was it the first one after Endgame?
Yeah.
Was it?
No, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Well, it was
No,
that.
well, they-
The first movie after?
Was
No,
it
it was
the first
one-
Marvel movie after Endgame? I feel
No,
like
the first new characters maybe.
the first phase after.
Because they still had
that's right.
Far From Home came out after that.
So it was that first. We don't know these people.
They could have shaved some
Type.
time off of it though, but I actually liked it, man. Yeah.
I had fun with it.
I thought the presentation was good. I thought the acting was okay. But at the end of the day, to me personally, since they haven't been around, and then you're not trying to like give us a
That's the
decent
problem.
reason for why they haven't gotten involved, I think that's why you should have killed them all.
Yeah. Something.
or at least had an explanation for why they weren't.
Because
around.
even after the movie, you're still left wondering, like,
what the hell?
what happened to the just because you made a news article and
if they would have
one show about it,
if
don't
they would have
explain
killed them all, if the end of the movie would have been them giving their life force per se to Cersei to stop the Celestial from coming out of the earth, and it took everything out of her to stop it, and then that's how the movie ends, and then we leapfrog to the girl Sprite who didn't want the powers anymore, telling the guy who played Black Knight, if he's telling them about the sacrifice that she made, and then the boy, I can't pronounce his name, the Indian cat.
Yeah.
But if he's there and he's upset because he feels as though he should have sacrificed himself too. Like if you got them 3 remaining, I think you can still do the same ending with the Celestial coming out and saying something. But now instead of just one person hearing it, the whole world sees it. But
and then you never hear about it again.
Yeah,
and that's the weird part.
Yeah.
So don't make big bold moves like that in a movie, and then
it should have been. They should have been. The Eternal should have been the ultimate sacrifice that no one knew happened.
Yeah.
Like what's the name in Platoon? William Dafoe Platoon. Saving Private Ryan. They took those risks. They killed the main character. Marvel start killing your character.
But
he dies in Saving Private Ryan. I don't watch war movies. I wasn't gonna watch. I'm not into war movies.
You never seen it?
I like Glory. That's about as far as I go.
Yeah.
I like Glory.
No, Glory made me mad to this day.
But before we get up out of here, while we still talking about movies, Rebel Moon trailer.
Yes,
that was long as hell.
Did you see what they did with it though?
But it looks good.
Did you see what they did with it though?
I'm ready.
Yo, Snyder split that shit in 2.
Oh, he doing 2 movies?
It's 2 movies.
It looked like it need to be. It definitely looked like it need to be 2 movies.
He
I feel
shot
like
4
it's a lot
hours.
of. Okay, because it looked like it's a lot going
One
on.
comes out. So I'm cool one comes out December, and the other one comes out I think April.
Netflix said, "Look, we'll let you do your cut.
They spent some money.
Exactly. I was gonna say at least we know we're gonna get them both.
Netflix said we'll let you do your cut. We heard what happened with you and Warner Brothers.
They said if you want to come to a company where we let you split your movie in 2 because it's long,
and we don't pay Netflix, and I give you and I give the writers residual.
But it looks good though. You know what it was though? That was a Star Wars movie that he had pitched to them, and they said they was on board with it, but they said they wanted existing characters. Like Snyder came to them and basically said, "Well, I'm presenting y'all with something new, and y'all want existing characters." And they said no. Netflix saw it and jumped on it.
That might be George Lucas's fine print in the contract.
It felt like Star Wars. It felt like Willow. It felt like a lot of different.
All I know is welcome back, Ray Fisher.
Yeah.
Welcome back, sir.
Yeah. Well, that's his guy. He said he wanted.
I'm glad he did put him in it though, man.
And I got my fingers crossed. We don't know. Hopefully, they might do maybe a small, little soft
cameo for Batman.
Well, him too. It's a crossover. Gotham City's on the other side of the star, but but they do a little theater release limited, maybe a week.
Oh, like they did with Green Lantern.
Yeah, what they did with Glass Onion and all that. Because I was talking to Tavon earlier, I was like, I feel like that'd be cool if they started doing more like that. Like, hey, we know some people want to see this on the big screen.
It's a big battle they got to fight.
I know.
That's a whole other beast.
I want to see that on the big screen, though. That shit
looks
too
good.
That won't happen till the strike is over.
That looked too good to be watching on my phone.
Did you see what's the name? They delayed Kong, Godzilla.
Yeah, everything gonna get delayed. It's not that bad. It's only a month.
If we go a year with no cinematic releases, I'm gonna be sick.
I doubt. I think we're going to get stuff they had in the chamber already done, but it's going to be stuff that they weren't sure if they were going to release or not. So don't think it's going to be blockbusters. It's going to be like Cabin in the Woods was sat down for a long time before they actually released it.
Hopefully,
and I still ain't watched it. I won't watch it.
With
Chris Hemsworth. They did 3 years prior to Thor.
Before even Thor, yeah.
But I hope we don't have to go through a world like that again because I love my cinema.
Me too.
Yeah. So, all right, let's get on up out of here. We are almost hour 40. So, let's go ahead and wrap this episode up.
Did we say
46?
We didn't even say episodio 46 of the Watchers Podcast. WATCHE Hardy RZ.
Makes me laugh every time.
Hardy.
Yeah, you can find us on Apple,
Spotify,
YouTube,
Apple Podcast,
Apple Podcasts, 2 times,
Instagram.
but
That's
not,
it.
but not on Pornhub.
Yeah, you said it twice.
So,
That's what
so
doubles.
We had some heavy moments in the show today, so is what it is. Life is what it is.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. And to my left,
Tavon, a.k.a.
Matt.
The Damaging. Tri-State_tip on Instagram.
I thought he was going to say his
my bad. To my right.
Smitty Wood.
Nope, that's me.
No, that's him. No, I'm kidding. Smitty Green Giant on Instagram.
Smitty with Green Giant 65.
And Matt.
Smitty
Follow me at Matt.
65.
And I'm the boy, Corey J.
Not just Corey J.
Tiger Helly 19. Snapchat side Jeezys. Facebook, by the way, of the government, Jason Williams. Follow the Stripes. And yeah.
That's
We out.
Till next week, ladies and gentlemen.
Football's coming.
Peace.
Peace.